Lesson 8 A Case of Suspicion. Textual question answers in text question 8.1. 1. Say whether the following statements are true or false. A. The doctor in the story was an elderly man. Answer false. B. His father had been a country doctor too. Answer true. C. The doctor liked late night calls. Answer false. D. The doctor carried 2 bags on his visits. Answer true. E. Mrs. Sorley was having her first baby. Answer false. 2. Answer the questions briefly. A. At what time did Dr. Benson receive the call? Answer. The doctor received the call at 2 o'clock late night. B. Who did he visit? Why? Answer. He visited Mrs. Sorley to help her in delivering a baby. C. What did the doctor carry in his bags? Answer. The doctor carried some pills and surgical instruments. D. Did the doctor receive prompt payment? How do you know? Answer. No, he did not receive prompt payment. There is no mention of payment in the story. In text questions 8.2. 1. Say whether the following statements are true or false. A. A man asked the doctor for a lift in his car. Answer true. B. The man was crying because he badly wanted a cigarette. Answer false. C. Evans was now working as a mechanic in an automobile plant. Answer false. D. The doctor offered him 2 cigarettes. Answer false. E. Evans had been an ambulance driver in the army. Answer true. 2. Answer the following questions briefly 55 to 60 words. A. Why did the doctor invite the man in? Answer. The man was walking alone in the cold weather. To sympathize with him, he invited the man into the car. B. How many cigarettes did the man take? Did the doctor like it? How do you know? Answer. The man took 2 cigarettes. We know it from the fact that the man lighted one and then asked the doctor to take another to smoke later on. C. What irritated the doctor about the man? Answer. The physical appearance of the man irritated the doctor. D. Who was Evans? Where was he going? Answer. Evans was an ambulance driver during the wartime, but now he is jobless. He was going to Detroit. E. Pick out 2 expressions from the passage that show the doctor was suspicious of Evans. Answer. The doctor was suspicious of Evans because of his square appearance. The doctor found him small cat-like face, long, deep scar on the 6. F. Why did the doctor reach for his watch? Answer. The doctor reached for his watch to know what the time was then. Z. Did the doctor find his watch? And what do you think he thought? Did his suspicion fall on Evans? Answer. No, the doctor did not find his watch. He thought that Evans had stolen his watch. His suspicion fell on Evans. In text questions 8.3. 1. Why did the doctor reach for his pistol? What did he do with it? Answer. The doctor reached for his pistol to frighten Evans, who was suspected to steal his watch. He pointed it to Evans and asked for the watch. 2. What was Evans' reaction? What did he do? Answer. Evans was shocked of it and returned the watch. 3. Why did the doctor turn Evans out of his car? Answer. The doctor suspected Evans to be a thief, so he turned Evans out of his car. 4. Where was the Sorley farm? Who helped him reach it? Answer. The Sorley farm was up the mountain. He was helped by an escort to reach there. 5. Did the doctor have any difficulty with his patient? How do you know? Answer. No, the doctor did not have any difficulty with his patient. We know that Mrs. Sorley delivered the baby with little difficulty. 6. How do you know that the doctor was relaxed after the baby was born? Answer. The doctor was relaxed after the birth of the baby and he sat down to smoke a cigarette. In text questions 8.4. 1. Refer to the words in the passage that show Dr. Benson felt he was justified in turning Evans out. Answer. The words in the passage that show that that Dr. Benson was justified in turning Evans out or a fellow picked up ... gave it to me back. 2. Why was Mr. Sorley happy that Dr. Benson got back his watch? Answer. Mr. Sorley was happy that Dr. Benson got back the watch. It is because he would be able to know birth time of the baby. 3. How did the doctor realize that he was not looking at his own watch? Answer. The watch that he was looking at Mrs. Sorley's house after the child was born was not his own, because there was an inscription with the name of Evans on the watch. 4. What information did the inscription give about Evans? Answer. The inscription on the watch gives us the following information about Evans. Evans was an ambulance driver during the wartime. He saved the lives of some soldiers in 1943 near the Italian front. Overall questions. 1. Do you think title of the passage is appropriate? Answer. Yes, the title of the passage is appropriate. 2. Who is suspicious of whom? Answer. Dr. Benson is suspicious of Evans. 3. Was it justified? Answer. No, it was not justified. 2. 1. What was the doctor's impression about Evans? Answer. Doctor's impression about Evans was that Evans was a mysterious character. 2. How did the doctor realize his mistake? Answer. The doctor realized his mistake by seeing the inscription on the watch. 3. 1. Would you call Dr. Benson a kind and gentle doctor? Answer. Yes, the doctor may be called to be kind and gentle, but he was deceived by the queer appearance of Evans. 2. Would Evans think of him in the same way? If not, why? Answer. Evans would not think of the doctor in the same way because the doctor misjudged him, and being suspicious, he pointed the pistol at him and drove him out of the car. 4. Dr. Benson was prejudiced against Evans because of his shabby appearance, uncut members, the scar on his face, and irritating behavior. Therefore, when he lost his watch, he immediately suspected Evans of having stolen it. When we are unable to find something in our own house, should we A. blame ourselves, B. blame others, C. calmly try to locate it, D. select an alternative and justify it? Answer. When we are unable to find something in our own house, we should select an alternative and justify it. Additional question answers. 1. Describe the night when Dr. Benson sets out to help his patient, whom he met on the way. Answer. The night when Dr. Benson set out to help his patient was a night of very bad weather. It was a night of the month of November. The cold wind was blowing. Dr. Benson felt the wind like a surgeon's knife at his face. On the way, he met Evans. He was an ambulance driver during the war. His bravery saved the lives of some nurses in Italy. 2. Why did Benson tell Evans to put the watch to his pocket? Answer. On the way, Dr. Benson wanted to see time on his watch, but unfortunately he did not find his watch in his pocket. His suspicion fell in Evans and thought that Evans might steal the watch from his pocket. So he found out his pistol and threatened Evans to put his watch in his pocket.